Let's get the reaction from landscape architect and urban planner Paulo Alcazaren on this matter. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Morning.
Okay, you've heard that piece of news. Yeah. What do you think about, first of all, the trafficking along Commonwealth Avenue and the proposal to narrow the bike lane?
They shouldn't do it.
Shouldn't do what?
Bike lane should be kept, and it's just additional space for the motorcycles can be had. But that is by putting the car lanes on diet. It's a
kumbaga kumain kayo sa mga sasakyan at huwag sa bisikleta.
Huwag sa bisikleta. And eventually, yan naman kailangan bawasan natin yung espasyo para sa mga kotse. Kasi less than 10%, between 7 and 10% lang ng owners ng cars is using most of the road.
But do you agree with the motorcycle lane in the first place? I mean, there are people saying that it makes the road experience more dangerous for the motorcycle riders ever since the NCAP.
Well, yes, but then it's a matter of getting used to it and getting the discipline to use those lanes and to drive safely.
So agree po kayo sa exclusive motorcycle lane?
Yes.
Na hindi po nakakagewang-gewang yung mga motorsiklo?
That's the source of most of the accidents anyway, as the data has shown.
Although,
swerving.
Okay. So widen the motorcycle lanes,
yes,
but keep the bike lanes.
Yes,
that's your
But that's like a one for all solution. The solution to Commonwealth is specific to Commonwealth being so wide, and I agree with the traffic planner Rob C. Na kailangan ang gawin sa na hindi siya expressway gawin boulevard. The term boulevard means that you have fast traffic, you have slow traffic, you have service traffic. It's a total different reconfiguration of boulevard of expressways to boulevards, because it's not a freeway na hindi pwedeng lumabas. Commonwealth is a corridor where you have a lot of businesses along the side. So what it has to have is a service road, a medium speed traffic, and then the fastest traffic in the center. It's a total different cover. We have to change our mindset about how we configure our roads, because what we're doing now is just one-shot solutions to everything. It's a little complicated, but other countries have found that it works.
So you think there should be like customized road planning per highway?
Yes, it's not a one-shot deal for everything, and a boulevard is a totally different animal to an expressway.
However, I talked to Rob C. also on this show, and he was pitching 30 kph.
Well, that's the other.
In all of our roads.
Well, yes.
Do you think that would work?
Well, we traveled less than that speed anyway. So it doesn't matter if you can't travel any more than that.
Actually, I cross Commonwealth Boulevard almost every day, and yung 60 actually okay na yun, yung 60 for me as a driver. That's the fastest actually. 30 pag traffic. Pero kapag hindi traffic, siguro sabihin natin nasa 40 to 50 on the average.
On the average, but your most of the time will be between 10 and 20. So 30 cap will just tame. It's called traffic taming, and traffic taming will allow the intersections to flow more smoothly. So it's a matter of.
So you agree with having the 30 kph on all of the roads?
Well, we can compromise 35. Sige.
Okay, sige, puntahan natin ang EDSA naman, ano?
Yes.
And we know that's the bigger problem here. I mean, what were your thoughts when this EDSA rehabilitation came about, this project? It was first said to be as a preparation for the ASEAN, but it then ballooned into fixing the pavement because it is more than 50 years old.
Yes. Well, it's always been patchwork over the years, no? So they would repair sections of it, but it's not a total rehab. You need a complete rehab. Hindi lang pa nakatbutas. It has to be done, and it would have been welcome that the rehab would be one lane by one lane. That means masasana yung tao na nawala ng additional lane.
Pero bakit kailangan total? Kasi yun nga, no, parang it's going to cause so much burden on
But then it would last longer. The traffic would flow smoother. It would be less vibration on the vehicles, less repair that you need. In other countries, the standards are very high. Here, it's very low. Especially in EDSA, it's one of the lowest standards of pavement quality. So we have to really level up because
Kailangan talaga.
Kailangan talaga.
Oo.
You have to do it. It's just like letting your house fall to disrepair and eventually the roof just
Oo,
caves
ano
on.
po ba ang buhay ng pavement, no?
Well, you have to repair constantly, but 10 to 20 years. But it's now
50.
50 years.
Ah,
And besides,
it's way beyond its
it's way
life.
beyond. And I
Okay.
remember going to UP in the 70s, and I show my age. Talagang lubak-lubak yung ano. And the substrate below is not well compacted. So yung pag-aayos yan, hindi lang yung konkreto sa taas. It is also the sub-base.
Which is yung steel po ba yan?
Even underneath that. The steel and the concrete, it goes on top of the gravel and so you have to compact the gravel and the soil underneath where you put the concrete and the rebar. And then the topping is the asphalt. So you have essentially three layers: the compacted subbase, the concrete with the reinforcement, and then the asphalt.
Because when we spoke to Secretary Manny Bonoan and we asked him, what do you think are the most urgent parts to rehabilitate? Sabi niya, yung buo. Kaya parang it gives a sense that parang medyo top surface lang yung i-rehabilitate talaga. Kasi
Pati yung sa ilalim.
lahat
Because,
talaga, pati yung structural integrity of the whole
yung base niya.
thoroughfare.
So they will remove the original concrete na hindi masyadong maganda, but also underneath ipipison yan, iko-compact yan. So that means that the preparation underneath. So it's all the way to the foundations of the road itself. But really, the rehab of EDSA is not the complete solution. Is not just the pavement. It's so many other things. It's how you connect the other roads to EDSA, how you do the connections also for people who use the carousel.
Correct.
There's so many things that can be fixed, that need to be fixed, and this would have been this is a great opportunity to do it.
Because I think if the government communicated this more effectively, people would have understood. Like, for example, will this lead to faster travel times along EDSA? Will this lead to more commuters actually being able to
Yes.
cross the highway?
Yes.
Ano po ang kasi years ago there was a plan, no, to have walkways
Elevated
on top
walkways.
of
Yeah.
EDSA.
Yes.
What is the ideal rehabilitation? I mean, for you?
Well, it's really mostly for cars, but there are supposed to be sidewalks to access now carousel and of course all of the establishments along EDSA. Makikitid yung sidewalk. In fact, dito sa Ortigas, you have to walk sideways to use the sidewalk. So the only solution, if you're not getting a lane, is iangat yung elevates. We do elevated car expressways all the time, but why not for people? It's much less expensive.
Pero may ano po di ba yung ano yung tawag doon? Mount Kamuning?
Mount
Kamuning.
Kamuning is over EDSA. Ito naman is on the sides. Because
Hindi yung footbridge na
yung
super
footbridge.
taas.
Pero yung
Oo.
solution dyan is they should have thought about it before they put the MRT. That's either the tunnels or you integrate, kagaya ng, I think yung suggestion ni Secretary Vince is to incorporate it sa MRT station, which is fine. Yeah. So it's lack of planning. But going back to your original, it's really a matter of communication. If you're communicating to the public, ano yung problema, ano yung solution, and what will it will entail in terms of sacrifice on the public itself, I think then it can happen. It's just a matter of communication. At the end of the day, makikinabang naman lahat. So it's just communication.
So what would the ideal EDSA look to you? How would it look to you?
Is all train and very little cars. train, carousel, bike, sidewalk, and the cars are limited access. And it's again, it's a matter of a larger context of the whole transport system. EDSA, C4, C5, C6, and the radials all working together. What we're always focusing on is just single corridors and not looking at the entire system. It has to be system-wide. So Secretary Vince's challenge is really to look at everything in the context of everything else. It's looking at the context of the different modes of transport. And as he started to do walking the walk and really experiencing what everybody goes, 90% of us are really commuters. And we have to ensure you transfer from tricycle to jeep, jeep to bus, bus to MRT. And at the end of the day, at the start and end of the day, it's walking. So sidewalks must also be a priority.
But do you think it is possible to really have sidewalks on EDSA, given the limited space? And also, what do you think of the bike lanes
Yes.
at its state now?
At this stage now, it's not ideal. It's not continuous. There are routes. If you're a biker, you know you have to divert yourself every now and then. It's not a straight route. And it will probably never be because it's 20 plus kilometers in any case. So you have alternative routes. So the task is to find ideal routes for all modes of transportation. But there is space. There is space. There is space along Corinthian. There's a buffer area in front of the military camps. There is space. It gets tight in Cubao. You have space in Quezon City past East Avenue. There is space. You just have to be creative about it. So what's lacking is not, we have good engineering, but we do not have good urban design. You see, the engineering is just the roads, but urban design is where you interface the needs of the bikers and the pedestrians into the engineering requirements of the car. So we're not just designing for just a single user, or a single mode, which is the vehicle, but we're also designing for people. The scale and necessities of people walking, people biking are different from necessities of people in the cars. So you have to be an urban designer. It's not just engineering. So that's what we lack in terms of capacity. And the DOTR has started to hire, I know, landscape architects and urban planners and urban designers to assist in creatively finding solutions.
Just as a final point, you posted about Bangkok.
Yes,
and the way they have designed their roads to be more
aesthetically pleasing, aside from being functional.
Form follows function. What did you observe there?
Well, there is a...
That we could follow here.
Well, we could. It's greener. It's greening. It's landscape design along with the infrastructure, and it is possible. Our road islands and verges are awful. They're mostly just escombro and plants that seem to be nuclear leftover. So if we green our infrastructure, then it's more pleasing to the eye. It helps absorb pollution, and it can be done. What we're doing now is just those vertical green walls that never work. But I go back again to the whole context of redesigning our corridors for mobility. There will be enough space for everything, for people, for bikes, for cars, and for nature. Because the original design of EDSA it was tree-lined. I've seen the original 1950s section of even Commonwealth was supposed to be lined with the four.
We forgot about our trees.
We forgot. The Department of Public Works had a landscaping department until the 60s, and then it disappeared. They used to plant shade trees. But because of constant widening, nawala yung espasyo para sa mga punong kahoy. And nawala na rin yung departmento. They used to send DPWH engineers to train in highway greening. But now, where's our trees?
I guess the more important question is, are you in contact with Secretary Vince?
Well, I worked with him when he was in Clark for the Central Park design, which hopefully will push through. That's the largest park to be built in the Philippines in the last half century. Hopefully that pushes through.
Well, I hope the DOTR then listens to your suggestions on this show as we have a more long-term plan for the EDSA rehabilitation. Not sure though, might need a lot of political will to get to that.
That's it. In Metro Manila, you don't have one political will, you have 17.
Oo nga eh. That's true. And that highlights the struggle of our urban design. In the meantime, maraming salamat for joining us this
Thank you
morning.
very much.
Weighing in, we have landscape architect and urban planner, Paulo Alcazaren.